Hey class, we're going to take a look at the notes for section, this would be 4.2, so chapter 4, lesson number 2, and in the skills maintenance section we're going to review just changing improper fractions into mixed numbers. So if you remember, so what we do is we take, so for number 1 we take the top number 5 divided by the bottom number, which is 4. And 4 goes into 5 just the one time. 1 times 4 is 4. Then we subtract, so 5 minus 4 is 1. And this is our remainder. Remember, our remainder then goes over the divisor. So we have 1 and 1/4. 1 and 1/4 for that one. Okay. For number 2, so that was number 1. For number 2, we've got 19 divided by 2. And 2 goes into 19, that would be 9 times. 9 times 2 is 18. And your remainder is 1. So we have 9 and 1/2. And for number 3, we have 7 divided by 5. And 5 goes into 7 just one time. 1 times 5 is 5. There's a remainder of 2, so it's 1 and 2/5. Okay. And for number 4, we've got 25 divided by 8. And 8 goes in there 3 times. 3 times 8 is 24. Remember, we have to pick a number that when we multiply it, it's less than this number. But the biggest number we can use, it still multiplies and gives us less than that number. So we have 1 left over, remainder is 1, so that's 3 and 1/8. On number 5, we've got 4 divided by 3. 3 goes into 4 just the one time. 3 times 1 is 3, and subtract, that's a remainder of 1, so that's 1 and 1/3. And for number 6, I've got 13 divided by 6. 6 goes into 13 twice. 2 times 6 is 12. And 13 minus 12 is 1, so it's 2 and 1/6. Okay, so that's just a review. We did that in the last chapter. We are not going to do the measuring part of this activity because we're not handing out rulers. Okay, the main piece that we want to look at, or the main skill that we're going to use, is adding and subtracting mixed numbers. We did that in the last lesson, but this time they'll have unlike denominators. So we'll have to get, the common denominator again. All right. So, like we've done, proper fractions, 3/4 minus 1/4, and if they already have a common denominator, you just take the top numbers and subtract them. 3 minus 1 is 2, so I get 2/4. But if you have different denominators, like in this one where you have 3 and a 4, you have to think of the least common multiple, and that would be 12. So that means that I can multiply by 3 on that and by 4 here, and so then I get 8/12 minus 3/12, and the answer to that is 5/12. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing here, except with mixed numbers. And an acronym that they used in the last lesson, LAPS, L-A-P-S, and it just stands for, it's look, and then it's alter, and then it's perform, which just means do the adding or subtracting, and then simplify. Okay, so that's what that stands for. Now when I look at this one, I see that it's an addition problem. Okay, so I know I'm going to add, and next thing is alter if you need to, and in this case we do need to because our denominators are different. So to change this 2 into a 4, I'm going to multiply both top and bottom by 2. Okay, so I'm altering it, so the problem is going to change into 4 and 2/4 plus 2 and 1/4. And now I can add them together. So 2/4 plus 1/4 would be 3/4, and 4 plus 2 is 6. So my answer is 6 and 3/4. Then I don't need to simplify because 3/4 does not simplify. Okay, same with this one. Okay, so I'm looking at it, see it's subtraction, but I have a 9 and a 3 for a denominator. So that means I can multiply by 3. Okay, now I can rewrite this problem as 3 and 7/9 minus 1 and 6/9. Okay, so 7 minus 6 is 1, so I have 1/9. And 3 minus 1 is 2, so I'll have 2 and 1/9. Okay. Okay, a little more of this. They're asking us to kind of, go through the steps here. And so I guess I'll do that. So laps, we're going to look at this and see its subtraction. So we're subtracting. We're going to alter what we need to. And if I alter it up here, I'm going to times by 2. And so that's going to change into 2. Well, the 2 3/4 will stay the same. And then I'll have 1 2/4. Okay, now when I subtract those, 2 minus 1 is 1. 3/4 minus 2/4 is 1/4. And I don't need to simplify because it's already done. Okay, this one I'm going to look, I'm going to see its addition, and don't need to alter it because they already have common denominators. So when I add those together, 1 plus 3, I get 4, and 1/4 plus 2/4 is 3/4. So I get 4 3/4, and that again does not simplify. Okay, so here we've got more word problems. It says, now the scatter plots have to replace the pipe in the bathroom and fix the hole in the wall. Help the band by solving the problems. Okay, so the pipe that goes up inside the wall bends in 2 places. The first part is 2.5 feet long. After it bends, it's 1 1/4 feet long. How long is the entire pipe? So that's adding the 2 parts together. So we are going to add 1 1/4 plus 2 1/2. Now to do that, again, I'm going to have to get a common denominator. So if I times by 2, then I can rewrite this as 1 1/4 plus 2 2/4. And so I'm going to get 3 3/4 feet. Okay, and that does not simplify. Next one, it says the next segment of the pipe goes under the floor. An arrow points to the section of the pipe that needs to be replaced. It's 5 1/8 feet long. The band has a pipe that's 5 3/4 feet long. How much will they have to cut off? Well, okay, so 5 3/4, they're going to have to cut a little off of that so that it's going to become 5 1/8. So what we're going to have to do is subtract those two, and I'm going to times by 2 here so that I can get a common denominator. So when I rewrite this problem, it's going to say 5 okay, so here it was 3 times 2, which is 6, and 4 times 2, which is 8. So 5 6/8 minus 5 1/8 is going to be 5 5/8 feet. Okay. Number 3, now the scatter plots need to put up drywall. The drywall has to be cut wide enough to fit space for the space in the wall. The space is 3 3/8 feet wide, and the band has a piece that's 3 3/4 feet. How much has to be cut off? So again, keyword cut off, and so that means to subtract. So 3 3/4 minus 3 3/8. Okay. So again, we need to make a common denominator. If I multiply by 2, this becomes 3 6/8 minus 3 3/8. And that's going to give me 3 minus 3 is 0, so that the whole number kind of cancels. 6/8 minus 3/8, that would be 3/8, because 6 minus 3 is 3. So 3/8 feet has to be cut off. And the next step in fixing the wall is to put tape on the wall where the boards connect. This will make the wall into one smooth surface. The tape comes in large rolls. 2 strips of tape are needed. The first strip is 7.5 feet, and the second is 6 1/8. How much tape do they need for the wall? Okay, so this one's a little bit shorter because it looks like there's a beam there. Okay, so we can add together 7 1/2 and 6 3/8 to get our total. Okay, so get a common denominator by multiplying by 4. So we're going to have 7 4/8 plus 6 3/8. And so when I add those together, 7 plus 6 is 13. So I'll have 13 7/8. And that is feet. Okay, so that was adding since we're putting those two together. Okay, so that's it. We had some word problems, and then we're just adding mixed numbers together where we have to usually just change one of the fractions to make the common denominator. add the whole numbers, add the fractions, and then see if you need to simplify it. That's pretty much it.